Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM22 story Rebuilding Helsingborg with me, Daniel. We're back today for part 14 and we could be going very quickly ahead of schedule today. We face Turkish side Konyaspor in the last qualifying round of the Europa Conference, and if we get to the group stages, our financial problems will immediately be eradicated and we'll have a real chance to push on next season. There are some difficulties on the way with that though. We're struggling in the league fixtures where we're having to rotate our squad. The gap is narrowing at the top of the league and we face one of the big boys at the weekend. The only difference we've got this time is they're playing Thursday nights too. So if you're looking forward to seeing if we can do the unthinkable in the second season, then please do put a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe down below for daily FM22 content from two long-term stories. We had a record-breaking moment yesterday in our Hemel save. You can find that one in the eye above. There's also links in the eye above to the Twitch channel, football podcast and merchandise store too. You can support the show as a channel member by clicking the join button down below. But let's go and get into this, because those of you that were here a couple of days ago will know that we played an Apoel Nicosia side who on paper were stronger than us, better in almost every position, but got absolutely battered and conceded 8 goals. All real players as well. So that gives me hope for this Konyaspor game. And Konyaspor are a little different, as are some of the Turkish sides at the moment. They've got 3 or 4 superstars and then a pretty average squad aside from that. So if the stars don't turn up, we've got a chance. If they do, we're probably in trouble. In terms of the league though, we've got to look over our shoulder now, because we were having a dream first season in the top tier. We were flying at the top of the table. However, we are really struggling with Thursday night football because we're having to rotate the whole squad at the weekend. I know it would be lovely to win a league first year up, and you want to achieve that. You want to prioritise it. But getting to the group stages of European football is an instant 2.5 million. We're 2 million in debt. We have to go for it. It has to be our priority. So we are going to suffer a little bit here. The Swedish Cup starting again in a couple of weeks. The transfer window is now closed. And of course, if we get to the group stages, that'll give us further fixture congestion as we head into September and October. So with sides now 4, 5 and the champions 6 points behind us, I'd imagine it's going to be a pretty disappointing end to the year. But we'll wait and see on that front. If we have a look at the schedule since you were last with me, just the one game off camera. Orebro was the game and we lost it 1-0 away from home. You can see that we rotated the whole squad. We offered nothing going forward, and there's a strong argument I should leave all recruitment to the director of football in the window and not get involved at all, because the only one I really prioritised myself this year was Daniel Rios as backup striker, and he's probably been the biggest disappointment of the save so far. Scored 3 goals in 16 league appearances, no goals off the bench in the Europa Conference. It's been a pretty average spell for him, it's got to be said, and considering in the US he's been scoring goals galore, he hasn't really adapted as well as we like. But maybe as we move further down the line, he's settled in, he knows the language, etc. Then we'll start to see the best of him. But that is something we'll find out in the future. For now, it's all about Konyaspor. We're going to do the same again, show both legs. We'll skip the AIK game. We'll focus on the league a little bit later down the line. Obviously, you did leave me a couple of hours before the end of the transfer window last time, but nothing really happened. We loaned out one youngster. That was just about it. So there's not much to report off camera. We've not got the fittest squad at the moment. We're struggling a bit with the match load. We've got Van den Herk just coming back. Kaid's still out. Langren's still out. But we've got a good squad available for the Thursdays. Our first team is fine. AIK are playing Ukrainian opposition in Zoria. And we are going to Konyaspor before we both meet at the weekend. Malmo in here as well. They're facing Sion of Switzerland. So this could be a very good or very poor night for Swedish football. Should we just quickly see actually how Nurkopin are doing? Because if we do get to the top of the league and start winning titles before too long, this will basically turn into a builder nation, won't it? So let's see how they've been getting on. They went out in Champions League qualifying 3rd round, which puts them into the Europa League playoff against HJK Helsinki. The Finnish league is loaded because we're in Scandinavia, but I'd expect them to win that. And if they do, it'll be Europa League group stage football for them. So big money could be coming into Swedish football. Let's see how many of the 3 Swedish sides can stay on course in the Europa Conference though. Konyaspor v Helsingborg. Let's get an 11 together. And this is the one that I've gone for. So, we've dropped out Alex Lopez, who's not really settled in too well just yet. Missed a penalty in his first game, played really poorly in the second, albeit I had to chuck him at centre-half for most of it. But the 11 that we've gone for as a result of that is Jolson between the sticks, having his worst spell of the season. Terzic and Granaf the fullbacks, as Hadjin still not fully fit yet. Weiberg alongside Vidal as centre-half. Almajed, Henriksen and Lingman the midfield three. Lerpa, Ali and Vandenherk the front three. You know that when we're firing, that front five is good, but at the moment, we're just not consistent enough. So let's go and head into the Europa Conference last qualifier. It's a playoff game that could be financially career-changing. Let's see if we can achieve a miracle. And to emphasise the rotation from the Swedish league fixtures, it's 11 changes from the defeat at the weekend. If we look at the Konyaspor side, the standout figures definitely the goalkeeper who's brilliant, the right back who's the skipper, and Mpoku on the left wing who I'm sure is familiar to some. Only 6 substitutes, but they've got an okay squad. They're pretty level with us in the most part, and then they've got those 3 stars. But Applewell were better everywhere and they didn't get the result. So let's see how it works out. We tell the lads to play their game. And into the first half we go. Almajed motivated. Can the rest follow suit? Well, back with 16 minutes on the clock, it's been a quiet game as it's Konyaspor on the front foot down the right here. Get to the byline and cross into the back post. Kasper Vidal heads away. And now Lerpa can counter with Vandenherk up through the middle. Centre half with a high line. Caught in no man's land. And Anthony Vandenherk out of nowhere. It's such bad defending. Why would you have a defensive line that high when you're sending the fullbacks up? You've only got the 2 centre-halves unprotected. It's a straight clearance over the top. And despite Konyaspor starting the better, we've got the lead away. AIK are losing their game. Haven't seen the Malmo score yet. But it looks like we're carrying a flag for Swedish football, in this competition at least. As Tahar Ali gets down the left and delivers a cross for us. Headed away towards Mpoku. I'm sure he'll be the threatening man for them going forward. Here he carries it over halfway. Puts through Mohammed and now we're caught with the high line. 1-1. Brilliant finish. This is going to be an end-to-end game. Neither side can really defend the pace. And at the moment, could go either way. We're back 90 seconds before half-time and things are looking better for everyone else because Malmo are 2-0 up, AIK are now level and we're trying to find a way to get back in front. But away from home, a draw maybe not too bad as Tahar Ali comes down the left, taking advantage of that space again in behind, gets to the byline and crosses. The keeper, what on earth is he doing? I talked about how good he was. And he's just got caught in no man's land. Lerpa taps into the empty net. And on the stroke of half time, it's an absolute gift. He's also managed to pull his groin while doing it. So he's going to have to come off. I'm not taking risks with him. But at the moment, we can't be more pleased than that. All we wanted was a lead to go into the home leg. Let's take Lerpa off. He'll be replaced by Lundberg. We've got 45 minutes. Can we hold on? Or will the home side come fighting back? Well, AIK fighting back as well. They're ahead. And with a quarter of the game to go, we're doing some defending and Poku heads just over the bar. I think we've got to look at changes. Henriksen struggling in the middle on a yellow card. Valencia on for him. Terzic at left back the same. Hadjin will continue his return to fitness. And we've got to try and cling on with those 3 made because at the moment, Swedish football is having a very good night. AIK now 3-1 up. The Malmo score is 3-1 as well. This could be a very important week for Swedish football. Imagine all 4 sides get into Europe. We're pretty evenly matched as the top of the table says. That would be one hell of an effort and shows how much Malmo underachieved before they sacked their manager. As it's a corner kick for Konyaspor. Our night is not over yet and this win is not wrapped up because the corner's headed away by Lundberg. But the pressure very much on. And if you look at the stats, let's be honest, before this finishes, with FM them, they've had more shots. They've had 3 times the amount on target. But have not been able to take advantage. We nick a smash and grab 2-1 away win. 3 shots on target, 2 goals. And we thank their keeper for a costly error that allowed us to take the lead just before the break. Let's go and see how bad Willem Lerpa's injury was and see how the other sides finished off their European games. Well, first good news. It looks like taking Willem Lerpa off straight away has worked. No injury news at all here. And he's not going to play at the weekend anyway as we rest everyone. So he should be fit for next Thursday's second leg. The better news is what a night for Swedish football. Nurkopin in the Europa League. Let's get them out the way first. Qualifier, 4-0 victory at home in the first leg. They're surely going to the group stages in a second competition of Europe. Malmo, brilliant performance at home to Sion of Switzerland. Another league that's loaded. They won by 3-1. and probably just about got the edge in that tie. And then the third side, of course, is AIK, our opponents at the weekend. They've got some experience in there. They've got a new manager. And just like Malmo, they're improving. 4-2. They'll be frustrated that they conceded late on. But then Larsson got a penalty to make it 4-2. Let's skip ahead to Sunday, get that one out the way. And we'll be back here in a moment for the second leg, that European qualifier. Well, it's fitness test time. It is probably the biggest game of the save so far. An opportunity to wipe our debt and have European group stage football. We've picked up a couple of injuries. Kaid's still not back. Gustav Granath has picked up a knock. There goes the long throw, and there goes our first choice right back. So Civis thankfully was suspended at the weekend, but doesn't look great either way. If we go to the schedule though, we played AIK at the weekend, nicked a 3-2 win. I'll be honest, it was a bit nervier than that because from 3-0, they absolutely battered us. They made 6 changes, so it was basically reserves v reserves. But in the end, we just clung on for a 3-2 victory. So at the moment, we're top of the Swedish Premier League. We're still 4 points clear, 5 clear of Hammarby and Nürköping dropping away. Maybe it's just too late for them. So with that done, the attention turns to Europe because 4 Swedish sides could be in group stage football in a couple of hours. Let's see which ones get through. We are 2-1 up after the first leg. A very smash and grab victory away from home. It's been a week where we've been ruthless with very few chances. We've also got one less player to choose from today because the man who started in centre midfield last weekend, the backup centre midfielder Erasmus Johnson, has now left the club. He has gone off to Melbourne Victory for £54,000 and at 32, it's good money for a player who was going to be out of contract soon. And here is our side, I think, bar the right back, which is enforced due to injury, and a change in the other fullback position. We are at full strength, and we're at the same 11 that played last Thursday. So it's Hadjin and Civis in, Granath out injured, Terzic struggling and got a heavy match load. I think Hadjin is just about the better of the two when fully fit, but can he stay fit for 90 minutes? That's what we need to know. On the bench, Victor Lundberg still scoring goals. He may be crucial if we find ourselves behind. But with a 2-1 aggregate lead, with the home advantage in the second leg, I'm hoping we'll be able to get through. Most of this squad is pretty well rested, so let's see if us and the other 3 Swedish sides can deliver on the night and reach group stage football. 10 changes for us as just Hadjin keeps his place at left back. The 3 stars are in the Konyaspor team again. Seems like they've gone to a 4-2-3-1. Does seem to work better for the sort of AI sides rather than the 4-4-2s or the narrow tactics. So might be a bit more of a threat in that regard. We've still not got that many fans through the gate. I don't know what it is that's causing that. It's something that is a little disappointing. But early doors, we've got a free kick and a chance to get further ahead. It's the perfect angle as well for Henriksson. Good save by the keeper. Makes amends for his awful mistake that cost them the home game. And now we've got a corner with a chance to take the lead still. Lingman puts it in. Vidal with a header. Oh, he's such a threat in the air, that kid. But it's just over the bar. First shot on target for Helsingborg. But on the night, it's still 0-0. And this tie is anyone's. As we've got a throw in on the right-hand side. 25 minutes gone. Gotta say, not been much in this game, and same as the AIK one, despite it being a high-scoring match, there weren't that many chances at either end, as Kasper Vidal's got the ball at the back. It's all about a containing job here, being disciplined. A pass like that is not going to help though, as the left-back has it for the visitors. Karaman back to centre-half, and it's all the way back to the keeper. They're very confident in possession, but they're not really going anywhere with it. So is the long ball going to be a different plan? It is. Mohamed brings it down well. And that is a really good effort. I think the keeper maybe should have saved it. He got a hand to it, did Jolson. But it's 1-0 to Konyaspor on the night. 2-2 on aggregate. And this tie is back at level pegging. Though we've got a corner immediately at the other end with Lingman. Vidal's up. And Kasper Vidal. Not scored anywhere near as many as last year. But he's still a big threat from set pieces. And that goal may be the most important of his career so far. It's 1-1 for us at the break though. We're doing okay. Malmo, I just saw a 1-1, so they should be ahead on aggregate still. We're going to ask the lads to prove a point. This tie is by no means over. As it's a throw-in for our visitors on the front foot again, and Poku, the star man, finds Karaman. Back to his centre-half. They're keeping the ball. We're camped in our own half. We're not really able to break free at the minute. It's going to be about counter-attacks, and here's a chance for one. Almajed finds Henriksson. Over halfway down the channel to Van den Herk. But a misplaced pass and Karaman can counter to Mohamed. Back to Serdekan. and Karaman in the holding role. They're playing much better in this shape as Mpoku puts Mohamed through, one-on-one, rounds the keeper, and then hits the post. Oh, I was already sure they'd scored. We've got away with a real big chance there. And it remains 1-1. We are clinging on at the moment, but you can see the threat they've got. They've had more chances than us in both games. We've given it away at the back. Weiberg, what are you doing? Carries the ball out from the back, gets caught in possession, and then Mohamed scored another incredible goal. I mean, what a player he is. It's not good for us, but you've got to praise them. The other two sides are flying through comfortably. Malmo still 2 ahead on aggregate. AIK winning again. But at the moment, we're letting the side down. We've got some tired legs. We've got some poor performers. And with 25 to go, I don't really know what to do. I think I'm going to give it 10 more. We're going to go positive. But a reverse of the last leg. They've had less chances. They've scored both shots on target. And my word, are they pretty good strikes. Just to give you a bit of an indicator, he is actually one of their few greyed out players. And I wish he wasn't. Because what a player this kid looks like. He's got the long shot rate and he's got the finishing. And he's turned up with the big ones today, but certainly no shame if we go out to them. At the moment, we're going to extra time, which is possibly the worst case scenario. I'm going to gamble with 15 left. Van den Herk will come off for Daniel Rios. Doesn't score many, but tonight could be one hell of a night to become a hero. I'm also going to take off Almaged. We'll drop Lingman into the playmaker role. We'll bring Valencia into centre midfield. Don't actually know which way round they're better, to be honest. Do you know what? I'll just leave it as it was. Valencia goes straight into the holding role. We'll save a couple of subs in case we go to extra time. But it might change now because Konyaspor on the front foot again with a set piece. They're all over us at the moment. And this is what should have happened in the first leg. Mohamed shoots. Oh my word. The lad is creating his own highlight reel. It's a goal of the season competition for the Konyaspor striker. He has scored 3 genuinely sublime goals. And they're their only shots on target. But what on earth are you supposed to do about it? I can't take Rido and Lingman off. They're 2 of our best players. I'm going to go for Victor Lundberg for Lerpa because Lerpa had the knock last week. Lundberg's not a great player, but he's a striker. He scores goals. And I'm just hoping he can produce one moment. We're 3-1 down on the night, 4-3 on aggregate. We're going to encourage the lads. We're going to try and get on the front foot because 1 goal still takes this for extra time. And thank God there's no more away goals at the moment. Because in midfield, they've got it with Karaman. And if anything, to be honest, they look like getting a 4th. We've run out of steam a little bit. And we're going to have to start worrying about money again soon. As Daniel Rios wins it back for Ali on the left-hand side. Into the box to Lingman. Out of nowhere. We didn't look like scoring. They were all over us. And then suddenly out of nothing, we create a quick chance. It's one back high in midfield. Rios plays a brilliant ball through out wide to Tahar Ali. And he delivers the cross for Lingman. As it stands, we're going back to extra time. The highlight reel from Mohamed is not enough to get Konyaspor through in this game. 3 wonderful goals from 3 shots on target. But it's 4-4 on aggregate. And we've still got a chance. Into extra time we go. What on earth do we do tactically? Because everyone's tired. I think we're going to have to make a change in midfield, aren't we? Hendrickson will come off for Netabai or Valokia. Let's go Netabai. Let's really push the boat out. Have attacking players on the pitch. Give ourselves the best chance of getting through. We trail 3-2 on the night. It's 4-all on aggregate. We know they've got a world-class striker up there. What on earth can we do to react? The other Swedish sides, based on how they were doing at the hour mark, probably wrapped up in bed and comfortably through by now, as Rios gives the ball to Valencia, who switches right to Lundberg. Real chance for us now, and what a way it would be to do it. Lucas Lingman, you absolute legend. Lundberg sets it up the sub. What a cross, what a header. Lucas Lingman showing why he's the best player at the club. Oh, the man is absolutely brilliant. It's 3-0 on the night. We're back ahead on aggregate. And we're clutching victory from the jaws of defeat. It looked like we were down and out when that 3rd goal went in. They were pushing forward after that, but they didn't take their chance. And this would be a big result. You've seen the quality of their players. And we're competing as we're still in the first half of extra time. Let's not get too excited just yet. There's plenty of time for this to go wrong. Serkan down the right, intercepted by Weiberg. The early mistake not costing us so far, as it's Hadjin to Tahar Ali. Back to Hadjin again. Valencia chips it forward. Ali can run at the defence, finds Lingman and Rios. Gives it to Netabay, the substitute. Lingman to Rios. Oh, just wide. That could have been the moment his career had lift-off here. But it's wide of the post. We've been dominant, but we know the threat they've got with a quality goal scorer. 15 minutes to go. It's 3-0 on the night. It's 5-4 on aggregate. And we've got a throw with Hajin on the left. In towards Tahar Ali. Flicks on. Keeper punches for some inexplicable reason. And it falls for Vidal and Netabay. On his right foot. Cuts into his left. To Lingman to Lundberg. And over the bar. Little half chance. Not much in it. We've got 10 minutes to hold on. But it's a potential disaster because we're back at the wrong angle for a free kick. It's going in, is it? No. Just wide. It was hit with so much power. Thankfully, it didn't go in. I think the time wasting is going to have to come on. I've got the appropriate mug for the occasion. There's the time wasting. It will be here in full force. Let's see what happens with this highlight because you know my superstition. Long ball forward towards the star striker. Finds Lingman though. The header clear towards Rios. He can run at the defence. Gives it to Tahar Ali. It's another game where we're probably going to suffer at the weekend because we've played an extra half an hour to all the other sides as Lingman gets it wide to Ali. Just give us a goal so we can relax, please. Valencia finds Lingman. Valencia again to Rios. Goes from distance. Good save, Sajic. And it's kept in by Lundberg, who then runs it out for a goal kick. We've got the time wasting on. We're into a minute of stoppage time. And Sajic has the ball. This would be heartbreaking. Long one forward. Mohamed knocks down. Vidal's tackle finds Serkan. One back by Weiberg. Hoof clear by Jolson. And Tahar Ali loses out in the air. One last chance for Konyaspor. Alas to Nassi. Into his centre half. They're working the ball forward. We're camped in our own half. Serkan to Mohamed. He's already scored 3 crackers. Lays in Mumin. Oh, you absolute idiot. I cannot believe it's happened in the last minute. 121 minutes on the clock. Konyaspor make it 4-3 on the night. And our fate in Europe, our financial debts, our first chance at group stage football will be settled by a penalty shootout. I'll set the takers. I don't fancy our chances after that late heartbreak. We'll be back in a minute for the first kick. This then, to decide whether we have group stage football and 2.5 million. Lucas Lingman up first. Oh, God. I mean, he's got us to this stage with a wonderful performance, but we talked about their keeper being a star, and he's just delivered there. I wouldn't bank on this guy to miss. 3 brilliant goals in a game, an assist in the last minute to break our hearts, and a brilliant penalty. Advantage, Konyaspor. Valencia, the sub, steps up second, right-footed, has to score. It's into the bottom corner. Really good pen. 1-1. But Konyaspor have a penalty in hand. Essa will step up to take it. I am alarmed at the moment. He's left-footed by the looks of things. Will he be able to score? Straight up to take it. It's a really good pen. Top corner. Keeper went the right way, but has no chance. And now it falls to Daniel Rios. Scored the winning penalty in the Swedish Cup final. Puts the keeper the wrong way here. Really composed from the Mexican. 2-2, but Mumin can put them back ahead. And at the moment, we need some Jolson heroics or an awful penalty. Mumin, great save. Perfect height for the keeper, but he went the right way, got a strong hand to it. We're back on terms. I cannot handle the tension. Hajin left-footed, sends the keeper the wrong way. I thought he'd gone too wide, but he smashes it into the side netting. Perfect penalty. And Poku, the star man for Konyaspor, or the one we thought was going to be the star man, puts it in the top corner. And with 4 penalties each, it's 3-3. And we're basically into sudden death. I picked Weiberg over a couple of others just because he's feeling calm. Left-footed. Oh, why? Hits the woodwork and goes over. And I think that's going to be it. If Jolson does not stop this penalty going in, Konyaspor will have European group stage football. Our debt will mount. And our title race is going to be a little bit hit and miss because we're going to have tired players at the weekend. The penalty goes in from Serkan. And unfortunately, Konyaspor make it through on penalties when they were just 20 seconds away from going out. That is one of the most heartbreaking defeats I can remember on the channel. We were better for most of the game. They had a highlight reel with their top scorer. It's one of those nights, isn't it? Good performance, decent effort, but ultimately no reward. And what effect is that going to have both on the title race and on our next transfer window as we try to clear the debt? Back in a moment to have a look at the schedule. It was a great effort. We went further than we expected. But in those circumstances, there's nothing you can say to make it better. Well, all of the other Swedish sides did get through, which probably doesn't help us this season, to be honest, because none of them are the sides in the title race at the minute. But it may be an issue for next year because Malmo, AIK, Nürköping, a lot of money into the club, and surely will get stronger in January. Let's have a look at the schedule though. When are we going to be back? I mean, all of the focus has to be the league now. We've got some big games in the running. Malmo on the final day, Hammarby and Nürköping next month. And I think we have to come back for Hammarby because at the moment, they're 5 points behind us. It may be a title decider. None of those lads are going to be fit for the weekend. We may drop more points again. I just can't believe we were 20 seconds away. It is what it is. We'll be back for a big game in a Swedish title race. Can we cling on at the top and salvage something from the season? Because don't forget, that gives us Champions League qualifying and almost certainly group stage football of some form. So it's delayed us by a year in the most heartbreaking fashion. But if you did enjoy it, you love seeing failure sometimes, then please do put a thumbs up on it. Subscribe down below and turn that notification bell on for daily FM22 content from 2 long-term stories. We're back with Hemel Hempstead Town tomorrow after a record-breaking episode yesterday. You can find that up in the eye above. There's links there too to the Twitch channel, football podcast and merchandise store as well, where you can get the mug for our time-wasting tactic, which clearly didn't work today. But above my head now is yesterday's Hemel video. Please do give it a watch, just to soften the blow for me of what I've just witnessed. And I'll see you back here in a couple of days' time as we try to make amends in our domestic league.